Hello, maayong adlaw. Good day, buenos dias. Hi, I am RJ Apolinario, a fourth year student of Norsu Sharon Campus, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies. So for today's video, I will going to tackle about communication notes and perspective with focused discussion on local and global communication as applied in the multicultural classroom settings and communication paradigm. So, without further ado, let's start. So, communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. So, in other words, talking or writing and listening or reading. So, good communicators listen carefully, speak or write clearly, and respect different opinions. So, what is communication? Not. It involves a systematic and mm, continuous process of telling, listening, and understanding. So, according to Harold Cox and his Will Rich, so communication is a transfer of information from the sender to the receiver with a reference with the information being understood by the receiver. So, for example, in a classroom setting, so the teacher is the sender and the student will be the receiver. So, communication can be categorized into three basic types. So, the first one is verbal communication. So, in which you listen to a person to understand their meaning. So, the second one is written communication, in which you read their meaning. And the third one is nonverbal communication, in which you observe a person and their meaning. And communication is often defined as the sharing informations, uh, ideas, and messages between two or more people. So, what is the primary goal of communication? So, the primary goal, of course, of communication is to understand the information being conveyed or shared, and at the same time, uh, also to be understood. So there are different factors affecting the global communication in multicultural classroom setting. So what are these? Uh, so the first one is language. The second one is environmental and technology. The third one is social organization and history. The fourth one is conceptions of authority. And the last one is nonverbal communication. And let's talk about local and global communication. So, what is local communication? Local communication is being able to communicate with the members of your local area. It can either be in your local language, which is your mother tongue, or a common language that you speak with your town. So, for example, we are living here in Visayas. So, most of the people living here are speaking Bisaya. So, let's talk about what is global communication. So, global communication or international communication is the development of sharing of information through verbal and non-verbal messages in international settings and contexts. Um, so what is non-verbal communication? So the non-verbal communication, for example, text, chat, and so on and so forth. So local and global communication and is an essential tool for universal understanding, among people of varied culture. So it is the ability to transmit and access information across culture through speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And now, let's talk about communication paradigm. So, the SCF communication paradigm removes the need of an end-to-end path from a source to a destination node and is therefore attractive to set of non-real-time vehicular application. So, there are four uh, paradigm of communication. So, what are these? Uh, Crossing the two-dimension yields fourfold typology consisting of four main paradigm. The first one is the radical humanist. The second one is the radical structuralist. The third one is the interpretative, and the fourth one is the functionalist. So, communication is the dominant paradigm is linked or with the linear mass media model aimed at transmitting information and messages in a vertical or up-down fashion. Believe in the persuasive power of media till 1970s. So, philosopher Thomas Kuhn, 1970, is generally credited with having introduced the term paradigm to refer to a broad framework that guides the thinking and research of scholars over a long period of time as they conduct research and develop specific theories. So, when communication is effective, both the student and the teacher benefit. So, communication makes learning easier, helps students achieve goals, increase opportunities for expanding or expanded learning, strengthens the connection between student and the teacher, and creates an overall positive experience. So it can boost our self esteem. So in general, people want to be heard. If a teacher shows interest in a student's opinions, that student will feel that their thoughts or ideas appreciated from the teacher. So this increases self-esteem and confidence as well. So a confident student is less likely to second guess his answers on tests, and a self-assured student is more likely to speak up in class. So these students is active on class participation. So class participation, as I mentioned a while ago, leads to increased learning for the entire class. So class performance. So teacher who rewards student communication and class participation will notice an improvement in overall class performance. So there's a lot of example, like if the students will, or the student will gain some points. So a teacher can be gauge the effectiveness of a lecture by student feedback. So by asking question, a teacher can determine if the students were able to retain the imparted information. So if there are lack of responses from the class, it is likely that the students were unable to understand the lecture. So this can lead to poor performance on exams. So professional growth. A degree of communication is required in every profession. And communication skills are necessary at even the most preliminary stages of career growth. For example, a student must be able to communicate his or her knowledge during an recitation in order to get the points. So, communication is very important in a classroom settings. Uh, the this this element is the key to have a conversation between the teacher and the student. So that would be all for my topic, and thank you for listening. God bless all.